The moment Robert De Niro's video calling Karoline Leavitt a brainwashed Trump parrot went viral, the internet braced for a political bloodbath. But no one expected the Gen Z firestorm that followed. At just 27, Karoline Leavitt became the youngest White House press secretary in history, but when Hollywood legend Robert De Niro called her a MAGA puppet, she didn't just clap back, she dropped a nuclear response that left the entire internet speechless. What did she say that turned the tide and made De Niro's attack backfire spectacularly? The political arena was already charged with tension, like a brewing storm waiting for the lightning strike that would ignite national discourse. Then came Robert De Niro. A two-time Academy Award winner and longtime icon of American cinema, De Niro had never been shy about his political opinions. But this time, his target wasn't a seasoned politician or a polarizing policy. It was Karoline Leavitt, a 27-year-old powerhouse who had just made history as the youngest White House press secretary the country had ever seen. In a scathing video posted to his millions of followers on X, formerly Twitter, De Niro let loose. His face stern, voice theatrical yet contemptuous, he branded Leavitt a MAGA mega puppet, scoffing at her intelligence, mocking her youth, and reducing her to nothing more than a pretty face-parroting Trumpian lies. Within hours, the video went viral, stoking a wildfire of reactions. Liberal media outlets treated it like a cinematic masterpiece, replaying clips with dramatic commentary. Meanwhile, conservatives seethed, accusing De Niro of elitism and generational arrogance. Across the internet, speculation spread like gasoline. How would Leavitt respond? Would she retreat, apologize, or would she rise? She didn't just rise, she erupted like political dynamite. Leavitt could have taken the safe route, issue a quick press release, denounce the attack with a sterile paragraph, or worse, ignore it altogether. But instead she chose war, and she chose the battleground of legends, the White House press room. Dressed sharply in red, white, and unapologetic defiance, she entered the room with a presence that silenced even the most cynical of reporters. You could hear the shift in energy, buzzing conversations hushed, camera shutters clicked in anticipation, and every lens in the room locked onto her. With poise far beyond her years, Leavitt stood at the podium like a general preparing for battle, and then she spoke, clear, calm, and calculated. "Mr. De Niro calls me a puppet," she began, eyebrows arched, tone edged with irony. "Funny. I don't remember him ever creating 3.2 million jobs or negotiating peace deals." The room tensed, and then she delivered the kill shot. Maybe he should stick to reading scripts instead of pretending he understands politics from his Hollywood bubble. Boom. The explosion wasn't just metaphorical. Conservatives cheered. Right-wing news anchors cut to breaking coverage. There's Leavitt slays De Niro trended within minutes. Her response wasn't just a defense. It was a declaration. She was not to be
underestimated. What made Leavitt's response even more powerful was her masterful pivot. She didn't just counter De Niro's attack, she weaponized it. With surgical precision, she reframed the narrative. This wasn't about a celebrity criticizing a press secretary. It was about a disconnected, aging elite attacking a young woman who represented the next generation of conservative leadership. She hit back not just with emotion, but with facts, reminding the nation of Trump-era economic stats that couldn't
be ignored. "Let's talk about the real script," she said, voice gaining momentum. "Under President Trump, we had record-low unemployment, energy independence, and a booming economy.
That's the story I'm reading, because I lived it. Millions of Americans lived it." She didn't stop there. She turned De Niro into a symbol of hypocrisy, a man who profited from portraying criminals and anti-heroes on screen, now pretending
to be a moral compass. "This is a man who made millions glamorizing violence and corruption," she said, voice sharp as a scalpel, "yet wants to lecture factory workers and small business owners about integrity?" The message hit hard.
Social media responded with brutal memes comparing De Niro's gangster characters to his real-life persona, labeling him as Don Hypocrite. But the most devastating part of Leavitt's rebuttal wasn't the policy points or the pop culture burns. It was her personal story. With the whole nation watching, she brought the conversation down to earth. She shared her roots, painting a vivid picture of a small-town girl from New Hampshire who grew up scooping ice cream in her family's mom-and-pop shop.
"I learned the value of hard work behind a counter, not behind a camera," she said, her tone softening but carrying more weight than any statistic. "I know what it's like to stretch a dollar, to worry about rent, to feel the pressure
of policies that don't make sense for people like us." This wasn't just rhetoric. It was a gut punch to De Niro's perceived elitism. She reminded Americans that their struggles weren't just political talking points. They were lived
realities.
And she made it clear that De Niro, with all his Oscars and beachfront properties, would never understand. "I didn't get my worldview from a Hollywood set," she concluded. "I got it from real people, the ones Mr. De Niro clearly doesn't know exist." At that moment, she didn't just win a political spat, she won hearts. The aftermath was nothing short of a cultural shockwave. Leavitt's speech didn't just go viral, it exploded.
Over 15 million views in just 24 hours, eclipsing De Niro's original video and dominating political discourse across platforms. Right-wing influencers declared her the Gen Z Thatcher. Young conservatives adopted her lines as rallying
cries. Conservative merch stores began selling shirts emblazoned with her quotes. Meanwhile, liberal commentators scrambled to spin the moment, but the damage was done. De Niro's once iconic credibility took a hit, mocked in late-night parodies, and roasted in TikToks by creators who normally avoided politics altogether.
For many viewers, especially young Americans disillusioned with Hollywood's moral grandstanding, Leavitt's speech was a breath of fresh air, sharp, authentic, and unafraid. She wasn't just defending a political ideology, she was planting
a flag for a new generation. As the dust settled, one question echoed across political forums, talk shows, and kitchen tables alike. Was this the moment Karoline Leavitt became more than just the White House press secretary? Was this her breakout moment, the beginning of something bigger? In an age of performative politics and viral moments, Leavitt didn't just survive the spotlight. She owned it. She transformed an attack into an opportunity and walked away. Not only unscathed, but elevated. Whether you love her or loathe her, one thing is undeniable. Karoline Leavitt is a force to be reckoned with. So now we turn the mic to you. Was this the biggest mistake of Robert De Niro's career? Or the defining moment of Leavitt's rise? Drop your thoughts below, and don't forget to share this if you think the torch just got passed to a new generation.